need a website, why not do it yourself? With
Evening all. This is another King's Russia ICC Banter Blitz, 9 PM UK time, although it will be from 8 PM, I'm informed, because of daylight savings. 8 PM for the foreseeable future next week. So, okay. So, with that aside, yes, so expect 8 PM next week. And happy St. Patrick's Day, as Jordan Crouch on stream says. Okay, interesting day. I don't think there's any challenges at the moment. So I don't think there's any challenges. I could wait for some challenges. If you're on stream, and let's get this ad over here. If you're on stream and want to challenge me, I'm on the ICC at the moment. Okay, Serum, thank you. So this is an unrated 5-0 game. Okay, I wonder if I can play an Alban counter gambit. Also being quite aggressive at gambit here. Just to get some peace activity. Oh, my preview screen seems completely wrong. Should I move these over here? Sorry, pardon me. Just shuffling. Actually, I should really save that. Let's quickly save that. Yeah, because my rating is still not showing in full. Okay. Yes, that's very clever. I think since I put the country flag, I've been meaning to alter that, and okay, I'll just do that now, and save that presentation. Pardon me. Okay. Sorry, this is really something I should have done before. Not very organised this week. There's Castle here. I just conscious of the fact my rating wasn't being shown that much, but I'll align it pretty soon up there if I can. Okay, let's try and keep with the plot here. If knight takes d5, knight takes, queen takes, there's bishop takes, little trap, but yeah, I could either change the flag or I could keep the flag, just to align stuff. Sorry about that. Just align the stuff soon. Not yet. No, I should probably wait till after. Okay, I don't know why I'm so mischievous. Okay, stop doing this. Focus on the chess. Focus on the chess. Okay. So there's a pin here on f3. Yeah. This is a bit of a pointless position so far, I would say. Oh, that strengthens my centre. Change the flag to yes, I suppose I could. Actually, let's demonstrate how easy it is to change country flags. Profile. No, general. I think it's on flags. ENGIRL. I think it will be IRL. But I don't know. I think I've already been messing around far too much already in this. This is a record amount of messing around. I really must try and play a game. I believe I should really try and play a game and mess around after. Sorry about this. Okay. Okay, let's see. H7, knight e4, bishop h3 comes to mind. Knight e4 kind of tends to lose material. Putting this bishop on c7 might be handy in the future. h5, h4 might be handy. I'll go with this one. That's bishop g6. Hold on. That's a definite weakness of the last move. What about if I double rooks, then I could play knight e4 at least. Yeah, yeah, that's the point. Okay, so again, the only thing going for my position is well, I thought one of the things going for my position is the bishop's like locked in. I got good control over e4 here. Let's try and I'll use that fact to try and get my queen maybe to g6. Although I've splintered my pawns even more, maybe the bishop can slip over to d6, and then naughty things can happen on the king side. So bishop d6, queen g6. Okay, I think naughty things are happening here. Let's see. There's queen f3 check. Definitely, check. There's naughtiness. If I take queen g3, well, there's queen takes f1 there. On bishop takes, there's queen takes f1.
Check.
That's a cool shot, I think, to have. Things are happening. So that's attacking. I can take that rook. I think I'll take that rook. Yeah, I don't think such bad things happen if I take the rook. I know my back row is scary at the moment. You could aim for a back row checkmate with queen d2. Okay, I've got that covered. I think I just sort out the back row. Now, if he moves his queen over here, I'm going to take this pawn with check, and then probably move the rook somewhere. Let's get this queen back in the game. That means rook f8 and rook f2. Oh, okay, I got that one. Okay, thanks you. Thank you. So an opportunistic tactic was in that game. Let's see. I'll try and this. I presented the game of Shirov on the King's Russia channel recently, where Shirov, when he played in the Lloydsbet Masters and dominated with 9.5 out of 10, he destroyed GM Mark Hebden with this system, this early d4. Let's see if I can play like that. Bishop d2 castles queenside, and he played queen g3 later. It was actually quite dangerous looking. What is exactly it's called again? Center game. I think it might be called center game. It seems it's freer than the normal stodgy Roy Lopez stuff. Except, do I play queen g3 here? This is a big question. I'm hoping. I've had actually a quick knockout from this opening already. Yeah, I have played it before in blitz, if that means anything at all. It looks like at least there's a nice default rook on this d file. And okay, let's do this hack attack business over here. So h5. Yeah, e4's vulnerable though. If he moves the bishop, yeah, e4 is vulnerable. f3 after that, or bishop d3. Okay. Can I hit that knight? That pesky knight. Although knight f6 again, he's on bishop g4. That's not so funny. Right, if he retreats, I could go back to h2. So knight f6, threatened bishop g4. Tediously, I could play queen g3. And on knight h5, I could try queen h2. If we're going to have a tedious repetition here. Aha. Okay. Fascinating. I can hit f7 for a start while my queen is parked on f3. Oh, that was dumb. Okay, that was super dumb. That was unnecessary to lose that light square bishop. That would have been handy. Oh well. Okay. Nevertheless, knight e2, maybe to d4. Knight e2. Well, that's an h-file. I don't mind losing that pawn in particular. This h-file could be very, very handy tactically. Let's see. Already f5. Then he can't take because of that knight. G4 is also something to consider. If the bishop went here, then G4, knight takes. I play rook takes. If bishop h6 loses material, G4, knight G7, G5, bishop moves. If he takes, then that diagonal's brilliant. If the bishop moves there, then there's Queen H3. This looks tasty to play this. Oh no, hang on, he just takes that. Oh, okay, that was a bit silly. Whoops. Okay, can I stop losing pawns here? Okay, now he's giving me a nice, gigantic bishop. Gigantic bishop. Absolutely mega bishop. Okay, I don't mind losing f4 for that. This is a Shirov bishop on the diagonal. This is similar to how Shirov murdered Hebden in the Lloydsbet Masters. This fantastic bishop emerged. Now Queen d4. Yes, there's f6, and I've got to watch out for knight e2 check after. I wonder on f6 if I can play g5. Or is there better with queen d2? There's queen g5. Queen d4 seems as though it's plausible. Doesn't lose immediately to knight e2. If it causes f6, maybe I move my king just to be able to play knight f3 without losing the queen. Or what about rook f1 there? Does he really play g5? I'm going to try and kick this knight away. Is g5 really going to be played? I've got nice open lines where tactically something naughty should happen, right? On g5. Okay, as long as I don't move the knight to allow knight e2 check. Maybe, okay, g5? No, he's going to play g5 to stop g5 as well. g5 seems plausible. Let's see, king d1. The problem is there's always knight e2 after I move this, and he's hitting my beautiful bishop is going to lose, be dropped off the board on knight e2, even if it's not check. So that's a problem, g5. What I could do... Okay. Let's get this knight to retreat. Or is he going to play g5 here? I'm thinking of just taking this now. Because surely, right, this bishop is gigantic. Now, if g5, rook takes, it's a gigantic bishop. After queen takes, I'll be threatening bishop takes. I can't resist. I just cannot resist this little treat here. Having this luxury bishop across the diagonal. Cannot resist this. With bishop f6 and queen g5, that'll be terminating black's king. Black's king has already got fragmented pawns around it. Oh, whoa. Queen g5 looks lethal. Queen f7, queen g5, king f8. Or is there better? Is there rook h5 for rook g5? King f8, bishop g7, king e7. Is there better? Queen g5, king f8. Or does knight f3? If rook f8, queen g5 is even worse because the king hasn't got f8. So knight f3 looks nice. If bishop g4, that's check. If bishop a2, knight g5. Queen moves, say c4. Rook takes h7 looks lethal. If I get in rook takes h7, so I believe knight f3 might be the way forward. So rook f8, there's queen g5. Bishop a2, knight g5. Queen moves rook h7. If knight g5, queen g6, rook h7. Yeah, if rook f8, there's queen. I think this is looking really dangerous. Really dangerous. Have I got rook h6 here? This is a key tempo gain, surely. Well, there's queen g4. Okay, is there knight g5? There's rook f8. I might have a point with this. Rook h5, rook f8, there's rook g5. If rook f6, there's queen f6. So rook h5 for rook g5. If h6 is rook h6. So if queen g4, there's rook g5. Yeah, I think rook h5 overall looks pretty tasty. It does look tasty. Rook f8, rook g5. Bishop g4, rook g5. Queen g4, rook g5. I'm going to go with rook h5. By the way, if you don't know about this Metov, which is this guy in the photo, he was an international master. I think his max title. He wasn't allowed to play too much outside of the USSR, but when he did, he had some good results. He's responsible for some of the most brilliant games of chess. I've got one of them annotated on my channel called Positional Queen Sacrifice, which I urge you to check out. It's absolutely brilliant, his Positional Queen Sacrifice game against Chernikov. It's lesser well known than the one which is often cited for him, but it's absolutely brilliant, Positional Queen Sac, which you've got to check out if you haven't seen that game. Metov is an amazing, attacking player. If Rook G8 here, there's Queen H5. So again, I'm relying on the king being blocked by his own pieces here. Rook G8, Queen H5 is checkmate. So Metov actually fascinated me to look at many of his games, because he's also regarded as Mikhail Tal's trainer. There's evidence for that he did help with the 1960 match against Botvinnik as in a training role for Tal, and he's beaten Tal on a number of occasions. Okay, it's a mate in one here, I believe. Okay, Rocky Top. Thanks, Nesmetov123. So Rocky Top. So Rocky Top's avatar is actually of interest. It's a king, it seems, with a chessboard underneath. Rocky Top. Okay, so knight takes e5, d4, and what about queen g5 here? Is that possible? Knight c6, queen g2, rook f1, queen e4, queen e2. Is that better? Hang on. Is queen g5 plausible? d4, queen g2, knight c6, queen g2, rook f1. What about dc there? Is queen g5, should that exist in this position? I know he's expecting knight takes d4. This is a 3-minute game, but should queen g5 exist here? That seems too strong. He hasn't opened up the bishop to cover the g5 square. It reminds me of the Schilling Gambit. That Schilling Gambit thing. Schilling Gambit. Blackburn's Schilling Gambit. Blackburn, Joseph Blackburn used to play this queen g5 stuff and win shillings all the time with it. He was challenging people, and this kind of, some sort of gambit. Okay, so knight takes c6, queen takes g2. Blackburn was nicknamed like the Black Death of chess. He was a really, really strong player, but I think he played this to win a lot of money all the time. Something like this. Actually, what is the move order? No, it's with knight d4, knight takes e5, queen g2, and then there's a mate on f3. Rook f1 check, queen e2, knight f3. No, that's bishop moving back. Knight f3. If the queen moves back there, then there's knight c2. So that was e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop e5, knight d4. Is this Blackburn sort of trap that he used to set? So knight takes e5, queen g5. Mind you, I think the bishop might have been on c4 actually, and then it would take on f7. It doesn't matter how they took on f7; it was worse for white. So anyway, this knight d4 business isn't supposed to be that good, because I think white ignores taking material. Okay, so queen takes g2 here. I'm on this rook. Okay, rook f1. That's interesting. Rook f1. Can rook f1 actually be tactically refuted here or not? That's interesting. Knight takes e5. There's nothing naughty going on there, I guess. Knight takes d4 is naughty enough, I believe, because it's hitting the bishop. As long as I don't lose d7 here, I think this is naughty enough. Just to hit the bishop. What does he do about the bishop? There's also queen takes e4 with a vengeance, because there's no queen e2 there. So I think this is good with a vengeance to play this now, hitting the knight as well. So without queen e2, isn't he just dropping that knight on e5? Yes, and there's also knight takes c2 here, but I think this is strong enough. But is knight c2 worth looking at? I think given this lacks controversy, I think I'm going to play this. It seems to lack too much controversy. It just wins a piece, takes away the f7 issue. So instead of trying to create any controversy, I'm trying to make it calm, just clear advantage without any controversy. Okay, maybe c6 here. What would he do if I played c6? Threat d5. Now with 22 seconds, I'm not too terrified if something goes terribly wrong, unless I get mated in 2 moves or something. This looks very promising, both on the clock and the position. Right, can I play d5? That gives me bishop f5 to play with. Then knight c2. It looks like a total disaster for white, this position. If I can... okay, knight c2 is not on the cards just yet. That bishop is protecting it. Can I... as though I'm going to win that bishop or something. Maybe I should just take that and then d4. Thanks for the game, Rocky Top. Okay, bishop mate, rather, singular. Bishop mate. So I'm playing this epoxy knight c6 to start off with. I don't know, it might be good. If they tango, but they don't. So I'm going to try and play it like Shirov. He played the Shirov as well in the that amazing Lloydsbet Masters where he dominated 9.5 out of 10. I think this fianchetto against the Shirov is interesting. We have an interesting creative position. What do I do with it? That's the thing. Is he wanting to play a4, bishop a3? That's a bit exotic. Can I get the bishop around here looking at that diagonal? Right, if I look at this diagonal, it's without being victimized to knight h4, I can put the bishop back on h7. I don't mind e5. It looks like some sort of souped up French defense. If e5, knight d7, it looks like a souped up French defense where the bishop's outside the pawn chain. It looks in fact like a knight c6 French defense where I'm a bit stronger on... I'm going to wait for the c pawn to move, because then knight b4 to d3. That would be something. If I cheekily wait for that c pawn to move, I'll get out of the way of knight h4. Well, I didn't need to anyway. But it looks as though knight b4 is juicy for knight d3 here. It's a bit of juiciness, I think. That knight d3 is a nuisance, surely. What does he do about knight d3 in this position? Oh, knight c2, forking the rooks. Forking the rooks here. Okay, it's nice to fork the rooks. Can I reinforce the centre? Okay, I'm reinforcing the centre. Didn't necessarily mean to play that immediately. Okay, but it'll do, because this fianchetto bishop could be quite dangerous later. So let's try and keep this bishop blunted with this pawn. This also, it looks as though my queen b6 is the natural parking spot. Yeah? And I can keep my rook protecting a5, given he's put emphasis on a5, and use the other rook to try and use this c-file. Oh, hang on, there was a rook hanging there. Okay, never mind. I spotted it now. Better late than never. There's a rook hanging there. Okay, I'll take it now. And then a pawn hanging there. And then there's rook c2 after that. It looks like a total disaster. Okay, thanks, bishop, mate. J. Russell. Okay, so e4. Yes. Can I do something interesting apart from the Smith-Morra gambit? I'll try and play a hack attack. Velimirovich attack springs to mind. Velimirovich attack. How does that go? I've forgotten. It sounds good if I can head for the Velimirovich attack. I think it really depends on what black does, actually. The Velimirovich attack. How does it go? Was it bishop e3, bishop e3, f3, g4? That looks like just an English attack system. Queen d2. Okay, I'm going with the flow now. I'll just play queen d2 and castle queenside. And then g4 is dual purpose, I think. Not only for g5 to d5 square, but also a hack attack. I think I can play it here, although d5 is looking as though it's something black's wanting to play. I like the look of this. Sort of, it looks aggressive. It looks a bit of fun. I'll take this way. These light squares seem compromised after that. Oh right, hang on. This is naughty. Knight b4. The check knight b4 might not be so dangerous. Except if my knight moves, it'll be mate. Haha. Ah. No. Okay, hang on. There's some naughty tactics here. King b1, knight b4, knight a4, b5. There's bishop b6 trapping the queen. Okay, let's go in for this. This looks logical to play this. And it's setting a trap if I play knight a4. Because that b5 looks logical. In fact, can I do it here? Exchange your queens or drive the knight first away from d5 to make sure black's not playing d5. Actually, I can open up this diagonal with g6 for bishop c4 check first as well. Try and accelerate my attack. Bishop c4 check. That looks delicious. King f8, rook h8 is mate. This looks gorgeous. King f8, rook h8, checkmate. Yes. Okay, thanks for the game, J. Russell. Zebul. Zebul. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have a nice little fun London system. Okay, I'll try and jazz things up with bishop d6. When you go for the double pawns, it helps my control of the e5 square. Oh, he's let me pounce into e4 before bishop d3 has happened. So I'm setting out a kind of hybrid stone wall against the London system. Definitely bishop d6 would be interesting for me. That's interesting as well. Intriguing. If I castle, he'd really want to play f4 at some point. He's given me the option for bishop e5 or knight e5. What if I accept the double pawns there? What about g5? There's knight c6 takes bishop g3. There's f4, almost winning the bishop. Can I do this? Am I winning the bishop? No, he just takes on d6. Okay, I've just created weaknesses. He just takes on d6. Okay, I've created unnecessary weaknesses. I'll do that anyway, because this diagonal is a bit more weak. If he plays b3, there's knight c3. If I can get onto c5, that's hitting that diagonal to discourage f3. I like this weakening of the diagonal in particular. In fact, there's queen e3 with the idea of winning the bishop here. So f3, queen c5, f takes queen e3, queen d3. So in other words, queen c5, no knight b3, queen e3, rook e1. Or the knight could just go to c5. Other forcing moves come into mind on f3. There's rook b2 for knight c3. But I think queen c5 is an interesting one. What does he do? Does he waste time with the rook? Okay, I can take on d2, because otherwise the knight's kind of trapped anyway. Rook b2 for knight c3. I don't think that sounds. Knight d2 for f4. Yeah, it looks interesting, but where else can the knight go anyway? I haven't got that many options. Now f4 is actually doing anything. I've got weaknesses around here. If he plays e4, I'll rook f7. If I take, check. Rook g5, there's a check there. Hang on, that's pinned anyway. Okay, if he plays b4, I go back to e7. Then he plays e4. Maybe I take. I'm covering. No, e7 protects g5. So in other words, I think I should play rook f7. So b4, queen e7. Let's get ready for this e4. I can take and then f4. Oh, he plays it like that. Well, that means this pawn's kind of stuck on e3 here. I'm gaining a bit of space here. It looks as though this bishop could be plonked on this diagonal with h5, h4, h3 as a long-term plan. We're stopping that. Okay, it gets interesting. Can I play for g3 here? Is g3 dangerous? Bishop b7, I don't think I want to run it into a pin. g3 obviously is not harmful, he's allowing it. Let me see, if I just keep that tension for a moment, what do I want to do with this bishop? What do I do with the bishop? Okay, let's hold that pawn for a moment. Okay, no. Now, any ideas for the attack? Bishop b7 threatens. Okay, no panic. c5 for bishop c6, g3, h3, closes up the attack. He's playing for bishop b7. Nothing much to do about that. Alright, I don't want to run out of time, particularly. I'll go for a pawn on h3 maybe. Oh no. I don't want to. First of all, top priority is not to get too far down on the clock, whatever happens. The second priority is try and whip up an attack over here. h5, h3. I can never get this bishop on this diagonal. Queen h4, g3 might be better, because then h4 is undermining that pawn chain. So if he plays g3, that's some sort of concession for queen e7, h4 to try and get the h file at least. Would he play that? No. So I can't break this down. Oh no. He's going to have a winning h pawn at this rate. Can I not do a thing here? What can I do? Alright, this is interesting. Okay. c5, not much. I can protect this pawn for a moment. I'm more than 30 seconds down. I'm not really going to get any files open at this rate. What about bishop h5 to g4? Is that anything? I thought it's that much. If the bishop loses that e2, bishop e2 would be interesting. Bishop g4 for bishop h3 for g2. If he took fg h3 after. Okay, let's go with this. I've got to generate something over here before this pawn queens. h3 for rook h7 for hg, for king g2 for rook h2. Okay, so I'm playing for rook h7, h3. Well, there's also rook f5. It's got bishop d3. He wants to control the f5 square, and also h7. Right, there's h3 for queen h4. This is a bit dangerous, surely. Queen h4 gives what exactly? What does it give? King f7 for rook h8 for hg. Oh no, he's got this pawn queening. This f-file could help me. I'm taking on e3. And queen the pawn, probably. This is going to get nasty. There's no queen d8. If that's what he was looking for there. There's no queen d8. h7, rook f5, queens, king g7. I'll have rook f2 as a threat. Was hg here as bishop e6. Queen f6, rook f1. Does it matter? I'm threatening things. There's king h8 there.
Check. Time warning. Check. Check.
Oh, is this one my queen? Oh no. Oh, that was super dumb.
Check. 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 Check.
Oh no. Not that as well.
Check.
Did I just draw on time? Sorry, I think I just drew on time. Yeah, let's have a look at that. I've got no mating material. I think my mating material's gone. Yes. Okay, it's a draw. It's a draw. By the ICC rules, which are very fair, it's a draw. Okay, lucky escape on the clock there. Okay, well played. Grand Pats of 5. I've always had trouble with this Grand Pats of 5. Always. I remember, was it last week? Exchange up for 2 pawns. It was, or 1 pawn. It was too solid. Is he playing bishop a6? Yeah. Okay. This stops knight b4. Right, keep an eye on h7 and over here. Does he play g6? If I took that, it's asking for trouble, I suppose. I really want to open up this side of the board instead. I think. I don't want my king to be under fire particularly, although I'm giving him that c4 square on a plate potentially by playing this. Maybe even the d5 square if he played b5. Right, for a moment. Let's go back for a moment. So I want to keep things closed here and open here. General rule. So b takes, and then b takes. This b file looks dangerous. I don't know, I've got him thinking. I don't know if this happened last week. Got him thinking. That's nice. Is he going to get that c4 square then? Bishop g5. Knight d2 first. That might help for c4 as well as stop queen c4. c4 might be handy here. This looks a little bit dangerous. How is the follow-up? Rook b1 c5. I might be threatening cd here. My rooks are not connected. I wonder. Well, cd though looks very strong. Is he wiping out my attack? I mean, probably.
Check.
I can win another pawn over here. I don't want too many open lines against my king, but this pawn looks lucrative. So d5 gives me d6 potentially. Queen c3. Rook f8. Okay, rook b1, rook f8, queen e6, bishop c5. There's nasty. Hang on. There's queen h7 there, rook h8, queen g6. So let's move this for a moment. Oh, hang on, there's that one. What about e6? If he takes ed, if he plays rook f8, actually I can play that he takes. If he takes my queen, I have queen. I'm wondering if e6. There's knight e5. Knight e5 is a pain. Is it? I mean, maybe. Oh, why has it got so complicated? I'll just move this rook. Alright. Queen here, bishop here. There's queen takes d7 there. Check. So that's probably plausible. Probably. Knight c5. There's queen takes b6 check. Okay, so bishop c5, there's queen takes d7. My pressure points are mainly f2 here. There's a loose rook on e1. His pressure points are b6. That's the main one. Can I play d6? There's bishop d6. There's knight c4 here. If we took, there's queen d7. Bishop c5. There's knight takes a5 check. Bishop c5. Actually, there's knight d6 check. Oh no, that's not good. What about knight e4? Okay, let's not try and lose on time. d6, there's bishop d6. I'll take just knight f3. That gets rid of some pressure points, surely. Bishop c5, queen g4, reroute. Blocks the f file. He's got, unfortunately, knight e5 after. I've got knight e5 there. And I've queen h4, rook f3, it gets worse. Can I do this? Just play bishop e3, just try and relieve this pressure. Bishop f4. I could take and then rook e1. Oh my word. Yeah, takes and rook e1. If I play bishop f4. How did this get so complicated? Rook d5, there's queen e4. If queen e4 is any good, I mean queen c6. Right. There's bishop a5 at least. I hope. The knight's protecting the queen. There's no rook d1 just yet. Sort out the back row. He can get the queens off if he wants.
Check.
Okay, his bishop's hanging. If he takes that. Right.
Check. 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 Check.
Oh, crikey. What?
Check.
I lose my asset pawn. Try and get these pawns up. Are you kidding me? No, just queen. Alright, it was a tough one. Oh, very tough one. Okay, dashing fox. Right, this is okay. I'll play bishop g4, queen e7. Maybe castle queenside here. Okay, can I do this hack attack? h4. Double. If there's rook d3 and rook g3 later. Knight b3, bishop b6. Bishop e3. Get this rook d3 business in. b4 and then b5 after. Gets e5. I'm taking and bishop f2. Oh, there's queen f2. If there was king there, there's queen, there's check. There's knight e3. Okay. A6. Oh no. Is attack's gonna play itself or something soon? Queen e6 before he has a chance for b4 free of charge. There's knight e3. There's knight e4. Maybe queen e6 is worth playing. He's going to have b4, b5, hitting e5 as well as an attack. On knight e3, maybe let's take. Takes. Okay. Gonna take the queen. This knight's kind of pinned at f2. Can I do? No, I can't take that. Can I play rook d8? If he takes, I want f2 for a moment now. After knight takes g4. b4, bishop b6, b5, knight a5. Oh, that c4 square beckons. So b4, bishop b6, b5, knight a5. There's rook d3 with the idea of knight e4. Rook d3. Can I move this? He's got some congestion, but it looks solid at the moment. It shouldn't do. Maybe it shouldn't do. Send exchange. Weaken these light squares. He hasn't got d1 just yet. Bishop's covering d1. f6, knight e4. Queen e6 with the idea of bishop f3 and queen h3. King h2. Alright, he's going to play for rook d1. There's a check here. Queen f2. I guess he just wants rook d1. Is there rook c5? There's knight e4. This exchange of rooks is going to be a pain. Oh well. Have I got anything? For the exchange? Not much. Not much. Pawn. Nothing. Let's hold the entry points. King b8. Let's check. Could be handy. F5 could be handy. G5 could be handy. Yeah, I think G5. Either check to win C3 potentially. Hasn't got an immediate check over here. Try and safeguard that. Safeguard the bishop. Some bishop d5. Keep control of g8. I'll get my king out of the firing line. I'll give bishop c8. It's got knight e4. Maybe I should play the check first. And bishop d5. He's got queen e8 there. Okay. Okay, what does he do to this? Is he pinning me or something?
Check.
Oh, crikey.
Check.
To check looks dangerous.
Check.
Bishop F3 is not working. Is there 96 F4? What's this one? Knight F4. To win that queen.
Check.
Oh. This is not going that well.
Check. Time warning. Check.
Going better now. Oh dear. Okay, Queen F5.
Check.
Wins.
Check.
Thing.
Check. 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 Check.
Oops. I didn't mean that.
Check. Check.
Oh, it's king before. It's not a stalemate. Okay, it was close to a stalemate. Oh, a bit of excitement there. Yeah, I was naughty with the exchange set. That's a very lazy exchange set. Just, I don't know, for the intuitive sake of weakening light squares. It's a bit overkill. It's the sort of stuff you don't care about playing too much in blitz. Well, I don't. I don't know, but it didn't work out that well, I gotta say. Anyway, yeah. Yes, lucky bunny after that. Okay, I'm gonna acknowledge that. Yes. Okay, so bishop G2. Yeah. Knight E4, knight G5, knight G5. My rook is still on H1. Can I do a naughty little H7 trick? Like just knight F6 this. Oh, knight B4, knight F6. Oh, no, it doesn't work. He goes into D3 now. Great. That's just fantastic. He's got knight F6. Oh well, that's been ruined. Okay. Great. I've been tactically outdone there. He had knight F6. Oh, that's just great. Oh man, that was totally unnecessary. What is this about? Oh crikey. What is this about? What am I missing? Was that a mouse slip? If he plays knight takes, I have got knight F6 and then queen H7 mate with the other knight. So he can't use this knight. Knight F6 takes queen H7. This knight's a pain on D3. I know it's kind of welcome that he gives me a piece here. No? Is it queen D4? No, I'm protecting F2. One of the reason is I had bishop E3 anyway to extinguish f2 issues. This gets curiouser and curiouser. I'm going to ignore this queen d3 business and just mate with knight f6.
Check.
Okay, thanks for the game, Chisel. Grunfeld. Grunfeld, as in not Grunfeld, Grunfeld. That's Grunfeld. That's interesting. Was that an attempt to be like Grunfeld Defense? Grunfeld. Interesting. So, yeah. Okay. Grunfeld. Is he moving? I'm going to abort this. It's been nearly a minute. Who else wants to play? Nadal the Great. Albin Countgamma.
Check.
I think this is okay for me, this line. If I get bishop f5 in and rook d8, I'll be kind of happy. Right, that threatens knight c2 now. Now this looks gorgeous a little bit.
Check.
Knight d3. What am I mistaken? Might be mistaken. This queen a4 could be a pain. What about knight h6? So I don't have to worry too much about the bishop. There's knight d4 after. Queen e5. Alright, there's queen e5. No, I just lose that knight over there. If I play bishop g6 or bishop e4, does bishop e4 lose or something? If I play bishop e4, am I losing or not? I can't play queen takes e5. Actually, this knight's a bit of a liability. Can I play f5? I don't like this knight stuck on b4. Can I play knight d3? Knight d3 just to get that knight out of trouble. Knight d3. I'm playing knight d3 here. I'm not going to be able to castle. Okay. If I just take on f3 and then castle, that protects f5 for a moment. Maybe that's the best thing to do. F5 isn't dropping immediately. Okay. Is knight d3 possible? Takes on f5. Take on e6. Doesn't seem entirely terrible. If I can have this position, I'm hitting e3 at least. He has to do something about e3 there. I'm threatening knight takes f3 check. There's no knight f5 for a moment. Knight f3 check. Okay. Maybe I need to play g6, weakens dot squares. This is check. Right. This rook d1 business is not useful at the moment. Can I just take on e6? Hang on. Yeah, no, that's on e3. I can just take on f3.
Check.
Rook d2.
Check.
Check and rook d2. Right, thanks to the game. No, great. Bravura. Yeah, the open counter game is a bit of fun. I play it just, I don't know, because it's a bit of fun. It's different. I have actually beaten some good players occasionally with it. It's fun. Yeah. Sometimes. Okay, so Bravura. Okay, let's see. Flag. Angola flag. I'll give him like a few more seconds. Okay. Rudy like Ruby. Okay, e4. By the way, to those missing my streams on Twitch, I haven't been that active on Twitch. I just want to make a note that I'm nearly coming to the end of like season 7 on the Gilmore Girls, so I might be back streaming in a few days' time, unless I watch the entire thing again. That'd be really sad. No, so yeah, I don't think I'll be allowed to watch Breaking Bad, too violent, unfortunately, or Game of Thrones. So yeah, I might be back streaming with a vengeance in a few days' time, in case you're wondering about my Twitch activities. Anyone? Okay, just a little side note there. Yeah, I can't be bothered to move the bishop here. This H file looks dangerous. It's like a fishing pole with a bishop being used instead of a knight. It looks dangerous, and when this rook just has got a loss to have the H file. Surely that's going to be dangerous. I'm not sure exactly how at the moment. It just looks good for a laugh. Maybe bishop d3, e5. It looks good for a laugh. Yeah, I'm just building up now. The rooks are connected. Hello, hello. The rooks are connected. E5 might be dangerous, you never know. G6. Let's give an example here on G6. Well, there's ED, bishop d6, rook h7 mating. Yeah, that's a good example. Oh, he's blunted that. Well, it's immediately rook h7, rook h1, rook h8. That's quite dangerous looking. Yes, that h file's reaped immediate benefit. Rook h1, rook h8, checkmate. Yep. Bishop c4 is now on the cards in this position. Bishop c4 is very strong. Yep, still very strong here. Or queen d5, even stronger maybe.
Check.
Yeah, if rook f7, take it, mate. Oh, it looks like end of game here. Thanks for the game. Grunfeld we didn't play, did we? Is he ready? Okay. Okay, that's quite a luxurious pace for a 5-minute game. If it's going to be a few seconds on every move, this game might not last too long. Okay, Grunfeld. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been overdosing on the Gilmore Girls. I've been overdosing on it. I've nearly finished the whole lot. Jordan Crouch. I've nearly finished the whole lot. Don't worry about it. I've been missing streaming a bit. But it has been a mental relaxation, not always playing chess every single night. But I have been playing over the board chess and doing some other stuff, as you're aware. So I haven't been totally absent from chess online or offline. I had an over the board game which I didn't think was worth covering actually on Monday just gone. My opponent resigned from an equal position when I put it through an engine. Yeah, and to my surprise, and so I think I didn't want to cover that. There's not too much meat when that happens, and that's why I ended up covering on Tuesday some historical games instead of an over the board on Monday. Okay, so I've been looking at 19th century games recently, trying to schedule some on my channel. They're pretty interesting, the 19th century games, actually. I think let's see, can I do this? I know there's a loose piece here, but does it matter? I can take here and win a pawn. That's being greedy, isn't it? Shall I be greedy? See if I can survive. The thing is, with UK TV, it's just very, very dreary. What's on TV is, I don't know, most of it is just dreary and miserable. Apart from Holby City on Tuesday, I don't know what I watch on TV anymore. The news, okay, question time, okay. There's a few things I watch, but yeah, I think the series that are available on Netflix are all pretty addictive. Well, a lot of them are pretty addictive from what I've seen. Oh, hang on, I'm going to lose my queen to bishop g5. We'll go into an enormous pin. Oh, that was clever. Oh, bishop g5, how embarrassing. So you could take and then bishop g5. Ah. He's let me off the hook there. Or has he? Historical games, yeah, they didn't have the burden of opening theory. They're very creative, very logical, sensible ideas, and you know, some very, very nice tactical stuff demonstrated. Especially when you've got high contrast between players like Anderson and his contemporaries, Morphy and his contemporaries. You've got high contrast going on, which you don't have much high contrast today. So yeah, I'll try and support f5, maybe f3, c5 or something. I'm not sure this is the end of the story, white winning the knight on e4. Well, I hope not. I just play c5, knight moves. I'll let him take that knight, and I should have a big pawn center coming. Well, that was my idea. Actually, I've also got queen h4, I've just noticed. On f3 there's queen h4 hitting the rook. Survivor is back on TV, CBS Survivor. So, is there queen c5 or... I've been trying to prioritize studying master games for my own interest and other people's recently, because it's nice, yeah, to see the origins of ideas and stuff. Okay, so There is queen h4 here. So I'm on that rook. He has, I don't think he's paced this very, very well. Okay, I can do this. I'm still on e1 after.
Check.
Okay, e1.
Check.
Okay, thanks for the game. Now, best rock. You guys are sparing me from the wrath and horror of the auto pairing tonight. There's some nights I think I've lost about 16 million games on the auto pairing, so thank you for making at least the first hour reasonably less masochistic than usual. Okay, best rock. Best rock. That's a pretty solid nickname. Solid as a rock. Okay. Can I pounce with knight e4? Is it not worth it? It occurred to me to play knight e4. I've played it now. Before that bishop d3 happens. And can I play e5 here? This is getting crazy. Takes bishop f5, bishop d3. DC, bishop e4, bishop e4. No, I think this is probably too ambitious. What about just f5 here and take it from there? Just not go completely crazy. Maybe. And this diagonal could be painful with knight d5 and bishop c4 if I'm not careful. I could play bishop c3 and then rook f6. Yeah, I think I'll dare to double the pawns. So rook g6 or rook h6. Rook h6 might be a laugh with g5, g4. Yeah, rook h6 with g5, g4 could be good fun. Yeah, as I mentioned, the problem with if I wanted to retain that bishop, unfortunately that knight was handy for that little tactic, you know, cd, knight d5, with bishop c4 skewering my queen, pitting my queen to the king. Yeah, so I think this bishop's going to be not so fantastic for a while, at least, and hopefully rook h6, g5, g4. That's pretty crude and maybe a bit of fun to play. Probably there's a punishment for it. I can't see it immediately. As long as the e5 square's got something contesting it at the moment. I know this rook's not very happy, but let's see. g5, g4. Looks a little bit as though it could be a great deal of fun there. g5, g4. Okay. Now, if knight h2, I'll still play g4. If hg, queen h4, pouncing in for the kill. Like a tiger waiting to pounce on its prey. So knight h2, g4. If he took here, takes knight e5, takes g4 again. Okay, I'm playing for g4. He could play c4. I'm still playing g4. Right, now cd might be interesting. G takes, well, takes, it's dangerous. As soon as I move this f pawn, this bishop comes into h3. Bit of coffee left over, cold coffee. Am I going to the UFC fights in London? What UFC fights? What? What's that? I have no idea what that is. Sorry, what? UFC fights in London? Sorry, Jordan. Can you clarify that? I'm not aware of that. So DC takes. Oh well, here. Well, that looks pretty tasty. Hasn't he just given me a piece? Oh no, Bishop C4. All right. So Bishop C4 is a killer, right? I assume. I mean, I could do a queen sack, but it'd probably be unsound. I could play takes H on H3, takes Queen F6, threatens Rook H1, Queen H6, Rook Queen H3 after. There's Knight G5 here with Knight H3, Knight F4, Knight F2, Rook H1, King H2, Rook H2, winning the Queen. There's all sorts of tasty things here to do. I'm a piece up. Why don't I just play like a sane move actually, like Knight E7? Isn't Knight E7? Isn't that a reasonable move? Right. Okay, so he wins my pawns. I'm a piece up. Stabilise the knight, but he's got E4, I guess. There's Rook F6 without Queen G4. Let's imagine E4, Rook F6, Queen H5. What about just Queen G5 and then Rook F6 without Queen H5? Queen G5 looks nice. Just to avoid this Queen H5. Yeah. Okay, B7 does lead to F7. Okay, but I'm going to play Rook F6. And he's got Queen 4 leading to H7 there with that Rook and Queen there. But maybe there's Bishop F5. Alright, there's Bishop F5. He's got Queen E7. Maybe there's easier just get the queens off with Queen G6.
Check.
I can take that. Okay. Alright, thanks, Best Rock. Fishmaster. Nice picture of a fish. Of some sort, I think. Right, I'll play this centre game business for a laugh. Okay, so Knight C3, Bishop D2, Castle Queenside is the plan. Basically, a la Shirov. So Knight C3, Bishop D2, Castle Queenside. For me, it seems like a breath of fresh air from the usual stuff. And I haven't lost every game I've played with it yet, so, or even a high percentage. So, yeah, Knight C3, Bishop D2, Castle Queenside. Oh right, mixed. Oh, all right, mixed martial arts, MMA. Okay, okay, okay. So, castling Queen G3, and if he plays Bishop takes, Knight takes, there's Queen G7 mate. Okay, so does he castle Queen G3, Rook E8, F3, or something D5? Or Right, this one is like the Shirov game against Hebden I mentioned earlier a little bit. So rook e8. Maybe there's just knight f3 here, or bishop c4. Bishop c4 is interesting. Or f3. Or bishop d3. There's a lot of options. Okay, I'll start maybe with f3. Maybe h4, h5 is kind of the Shirov-Hebden plan. You got dangerous dart square pressure. So h4, h5, h6, g6. Maybe then I can block up my own attacking files to try and weaken the dart squares maybe. This, trying to connect my pieces, trying to connect my rooks rapidly. It looks as though he's playing somewhat thematically. Yeah, okay. D takes, F takes. Alright, that's not happening. Is there 92 here then? Have I got pressure on D4? Okay, a change of plan here, but maybe not such a bad one. Is D4 potentially a weak pawn here? Alright, we're going to tuck the queen over here. 94, queen d8. I don't think there's any check after that. Alright, which means I might be able to get away with. It is a loose piece in its own right, Her Majesty here. But I'm not sure it's that easy to exploit. Well, I hope not. 94, queen takes. Okay, that's interesting. Can I take that? Okay, what is going on here now? And oh, d3 is attacked. Well, it's protected at the moment. Knight e4, queen e4, but there might be knight d5. Let's move this queen somewhere. Maybe here is good enough. Just in case. Actually, eyeing that focal point, g7 is handy for bishop c3. Bishop a2. What about king b1? Can I play king b1? There's a6 winning d3. Maybe bishop c3 is better, just let the a2 pawn go. Bishop a2, d4, bishop b3, rook d2. We've got that big centre. So bishop a2, rook d2. Alright, or just play d4 immediately. d4 immediately. Plan. d5. Alright, let's move this first. d5 looks good somehow to me, this pawn centre. I can take that rook. Knight a2 taking here, I can take that. Take the rook. Oh, queen a4 is going to be a killer. Oh, that was dumb. I'll try and cover this a4 square for a moment. Otherwise queen a4 kills. It's still pretty dangerous looking. Takes queen a4, rook b2, queen a1, king d2 wins the rook. There's time for d5 here. Maybe. Right, there's knight b1. Is there knight e2? Okay. Check knight b1, bishop a2. I think I have to connect my stuff together. Somehow I feel this could be going wrong.
Check.
To say the least.
Check. Check.
Yes, I have that funny feeling it hasn't gone entirely to plan. At least he hasn't got queen d4 on the bright side of this. If I had taken that rook e8, I think ends the game. Okay, so knight d3 is to be feared. Can I give my king somewhere? Queen c7, knight d3, just to give the king g3. Yeah, it looks good in the circumstances. Hang on, I lose e2 in that case.
Check.
So maybe king e3 is better, not to lose e2. This doesn't look clever, does it? Crikey. Can I get away with queen c3? If I can get the queens off, I'd be very happy.
Check. Check. Check.
Oh, have I just given him a petrol? That's really unfortunate.
Check. Check.
Well, I was probably getting hacked anyway. Okay, well played, yeah, I was... Yeah, okay. There's no more challenges at the moment. No more challenges at the moment. Anyone want to challenge? It's been quite a challenge-rich session so far without any use of the auto pairing. Let's see the scores on the doors at the moment. Look at the history here. So I haven't lost too many, but yeah, some of you have held me to draws at least and had very promising positions, so well done. Let's start off 454. Yeah. Okay, waiting for a challenge. No one's beaten me yet, actually. Come on, come and crush me. If you want to challenge me, it's your chance. You can see I'm wounded by this game. Let's have a quick look while we're waiting. I didn't have to play knight d4. I went straight into... If I could have played this on... Oh, black's better. So...
Check.
Black's actually better here, technically, but time difference. Now, I'm sure there was a win here, though. This looks so crushing. Queen takes b2.
Check.
Yeah,
Check.
knight d5 is the right move. Bishop c4. Queen b6.
Check.
This looks embarrassing.
Check.
Yes, this looks painful.
Check.
And if I go here,
Check.
if I take, as queen takes b1.
Check.
Yeah, it looks brutal.
Check.
The engine sees all. Queen. This is quite something.
Check.
Yeah, I'll end up losing
Check.
my bits. So that was the way to go, whatever that was. So this was really good play here. Queen a6, right?
Check.
Queen a1.
Check.
Bishop takes.
Check.
Queen takes. Knight
Check.
d5. So bishop c4 seems to be a key move. Let's look at earlier in this game. I thought black played quite thematically as well earlier. Apparently knight d5 is possible. Black's slightly... Oh, it's an interesting pawn sack. It confused me at the time. Bishop c3 is mentioned as the engine move here. I thought there was a problem with this with d3 in this position. And there is. I was right. a6 embarrasses d3. Even if this, I think there's still a problem with d3.
Check.
And yeah, it's crushing. The pin is crushing. So I avoided extermination there, I think, by playing bishop c3. That's a good move, apparently. Now this is quite a move to sack the exchange here. It's very aggressive. That's a brilliant move, in a way, because this queen is just coming in for the kill after quite rapidly. Yeah, black's just better after that. What is the best move? Black's just better here, yeah. Is it? Oh, knight a2
Check.
first. Then that's really dangerous. So actually this might have been good in the circumstance as well, because otherwise queen a4 immediately is killing. I'm just trying to survive this position. Right, that's a mistake. Knight e2 here, simply. So yeah, I wonder why here queen a6 isn't dangerous. Oh, here, right, okay. It's equal anyway. If I took, let's take d2. So again, I'm -8 now.
Check. 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 Check.
So if I go here, queen takes. Have to go back to e3 to protect the knight.
Check.
Practically though, I should just avoid. Yeah, I've got the clock advantage now. Rook b1, yeah, but black's technically better. Wow, what a game. Alright. If you want, I'll give you a choice on stream. Should we do a postmortem of the next most interesting postmortem or auto pairing? Do you want to vote now? Because I could find another game to do a bit of post-mortem analysis on, if you want. But I'm not sure which one. Zebi was an interesting one where he, I'm sure, was absolutely winning. If we could go and examine the Zebi, if you want, I can do a post-mortem or I can do auto pairing. So a quick look at the Zebi game for a moment. I'll use the command flip to get it from black's perspective. Oh, just in chess. Okay. Alright, we'll go back to post-mortem in a bit. Smith-Morra. I've forgotten, is this some sort of trap? If I play queen b3, do I get a worse position? I assume I might, after e6, be in a worse position. Sometimes this has worked out, sometimes it doesn't. So, sorry, I'm trying to do circles while playing. f7 and b7, but I think I've seen e6. If I take knight a5 and just wins the light square bishop. So have I got anything against e6, which doesn't involve queen b7, knight a5? It doesn't look as though after e6 the threat is actually twofold: bishop f3 and knight a5. So this is not as dumb as I used to think it is. It's actually quite dangerous with e6. Yeah. Queen b7, knight f5. I think I've had variations of this. Alright, so alright. Queen a4. Okay, you can double my pawn. Maybe I can use that g file. If I don't get hacked with these double pawns, which has happened sometimes as well, I can throw in a check. Does that help? To have the queen on d7? I don't see how that necessarily helps. But queen c6, hang on. Queen e7, queen a8. In other words, bishop f3 does queen c6. There's no knight d7. I can play it here.
Check.
For bishop e7, displays the king. Alright, I've avoided the double pawns with this, and I can threaten knight c6 on rook c8, queen a6 with the threat of knight c6. If king f8, queen d6. Well, it looks as if... Are we just equal on pawns here? There's no big deal, is it? Just equal on pawns. Somehow I like the position anyway. This d6 might be something to play with. Maybe b3, a4, a5, knight moves, knight a4. That looks as though I'm clamping down on dark squares in the a6 pawn. Bishop seems out of the game against this pawn structure. So I'm hoping, is that plan any good? Knight d5 almost works, except there's knight d5 to win that rook. There's knight f5 for knight d5 if he's not careful. King f8 would win d6 or g7. So in other words, a5 knight moves, knight f5 takes knight d5. It's king d7, knight c7. Knight f5 for knight d5. There's king d7 unfortunately. Yeah, so he's on b2 here, that's a pain. Knight f5, knight b5, knight takes. E takes, threatens g4 winning the bishop. So it's another pawn over there. I wonder. Let's have a quick look at this craziness again. Knight f5, knight d5, knight takes, threatening g4.
Check.
Since I've calculated it, I'll use it. this configuration might be interesting because I'm immediately threatening g4 after. I know it's knight and bishop against rook, but in this particular circumstance, okay. With knight e8 for knight c7 there. No, there isn't. Sugar. Hang on. No, there's simply knight takes c8. Muppets. There's simply knight. You can't take on c3, right? I'll play f4 and e5. I'm running f5. Bishop's not taking that because of knight e4. This bishop's spectator piece on h7, surely. Any rook d8, there's almost knight e8. No, there isn't knight e8. There is if rook b2, there's knight e8. Forking king and rook. There's c4 trying to protect with c5. They're threatening knight c4 check, winning the rook. That's an added bonus of c5 here. Threatening knight c4 check, winning the rook. Thanks for the game, Justin Chess. Kronos. At this rate, we're going to have the first fully featured just challenge after challenge session, which has never happened before in the history of this show. Kronos. I don't mind this. It looks like this bishop's not brilliant for a start. I'm just making sure he's going to castle somewhere. Is he castling queenside? Because I'm wondering if I can use b5 without committing yet to castling kingside. He's being a bit cagey about where he's castling. Can I play this for b5? Aha. Right. We're both delaying castling. I'm going to play f5 and e4 here. This might be handy. There might be knight e5 now, and this looks like a good position. If I can play f4, this bishop is extended in scope. Let's see what's happening now after f4. My rook's automatically getting better and better after f4. Yeah, I think that's pretty handy. Give an example. Knight e4. There's bishop f5 there. And there's no f3 as a bishop e3. Is that evidence enough? I think that might be evidence enough. Or just f3 here. It looks as though I'm doing some damage to the king side. I can play takes here. try and win material. It's in between move instead of the ordinary recapture. That's very soon Zug. It's been a bit windy tonight. I can hear some howling in the background. Outside, some howling. Well, his rook's attacked, so I think I'm looking forward to queen takes e5. I think that'd be better than d takes, keeping an eye on the e-file pressure. This looks very nice. I've got two lovely bishops. In fact, queen takes here is for bishop e3 just to simplify if I need it.
Check.
And I can win a4 here.
Check.
If he takes. This pawn chain looks as though it's disappearing. Yeah, the pawn chain looks fragile. b3, bishop d3 leaves the rook struggling. Although there's rook d4. Not so easy. Back parking slot for rook d5. Oh, I do lose that pawn. That was naughty.
Check.
I win this one over here.
Check.
This looks very good.
Check.
I'm looking like, yeah, b2 is going to be dangerous. Okay, thanks for the game, Kronos. Aqueduct. Okay, Aqueduct. And happy, yeah, St. Patrick's Day. That's definitely island flag. Okay, so okay, so I'll give him a few more seconds. Okay, let's go on. You can channel data. All right. Actually, yeah. Let's just check that post-mortem thing for a moment. I was just checking this for a moment. Let's get to a critical moment here. That was a very interesting game. Let's leave the challenges in reserve for a moment. Yeah, white's technically better. I was struggling here with this a7 pawn. Don't know about this tactic. Maybe just knight c5 is more sensible. Yeah. Maybe this is much more sensible. I have a major issue with a7 in this game coming up. How does that emerge? This side's kind of closed up. A7's remaining a weakness. It's fixing against these c5, so I've actually got a terrible pawn complex without any kingside counterplay. No, I'm just worse. And all of a sudden, it's just very easy for white here. There's no significant counterplay here. This is a great plan. Yeah, I've just got such damage, structural damage here. So this was a desperate scenario now. A4 may be more to the point. These pawns probably come down quite quick. That blocked the A pawn. White's clearly better. It's funny that, yeah, I've got nothing to do. This is pretty desperate stuff to try and create some complication. But as long as Queen G2 is there, this is harmless. As long as the Queen's H2 is always King H1. Yeah, this is totally winning. It's nearly +5. This was totally winning. Yeah, I thought just A7. This looks a little bit unnecessary. Yeah, I think we're just totally winning. A7. What do I do here? Do I do this? Check as possible. Alright, check. Yes, it was all falling to bits anyway. I mean, it was all falling to bits anyway.
Check.
Oh, hang on. White was better with this. Right, there is this Queen H1 to deal with. There's nice trebled pawns actually.
Check.
Apparently, what did I play? King G7. Okay, just one moment, Blaster. We'll just get to the end of this.
Check.
Apparently, I'm better here. Did I blunder? This is a major. Oh, maybe I've messed this opportunity up. Rook at E7, threatening Queen H1 here. Pawn's a bit slow. Ah, yeah. This is very dangerous. You know, this is just mate, right?
Mate.
So he has to give up with Queen. Right, I don't think it matters about that pawn queening, because again it's that mate in 2. So, alright, so I missed the chance for rook e7 here. Alright, this was 16 seconds each, so actually here I miss rook e7, I don't need to lose the queen. And then there's still a mate threat. Okay, there's 2 challenges. Oh, this is a great way of building up challenges. Just do a bit of post-mortem. I must remember this trick. But this is interesting anyway. What's going on here? Is it just equal? If I'm holding the rook, it's just equal?
Check.
With perpetuals. Maybe that's how it should have been then. Now I'm just lost. I need to play rook e7 here, but it seems earlier that it was even better just to play rook e7. Alright, it was dangerous here eventually. Alright. Okay, Blaster. Do you guys prefer the auto pairing to the post-mortem, or if you say preference, like if I say if you want to say like auto pairing or post-mortem, just for future reference. I mean, it's the interesting thing about the post-mortem. We can pick the most interesting game encounters to focus on them while waiting, maybe for other challenges. Maybe that's an interesting thing to do, because sometimes some very interesting games to really want to try and do some post-mortem. But you think either, someone said either, or either, if you want to shout out either. Well, it seems as though, yeah, there's some very, very exciting games tonight from the challenges, behind the scenes as well. Blaster. Okay, now this flag is Philippines. So that's where Wesley So is originally from. Philippines. Okay, let's go into this F4 square. Always postmortem. Well, yeah, you're right. I think there's a sort of kind of scientific perspective when you... Engines are so powerful nowadays. It's like leveraging there's so much power to see the insights and positions. It's quite fascinating to see what's picked up in postmortem. Right, so knight h3. So I'm trying to draw arrows again. Knight h3 is threatened for queen takes f3. That's the big threat, I think. Knight takes h3 for queen takes f3. Uh-huh. I haven't got a sacrificial brilliant combination, have I? Or have I? Knight g2, bishop h3, there's queen g5. It would be mating with that queen g2, but unfortunately he's got knight g4. But hold on a sec, isn't there knight h3 there and queen g4? So in other words, can I get away with bishop h3? Let's just calculate this again. Takes queen g5. If knight g4, knight takes h3 and queen... Yeah. Let's go with that. It looks as though it's kind of a geared up position for this sack, because everything seems to be around to make this work with these knights on that f4 square. So let's look at this again. Takes check, knight g4. There's knight takes h3 check there. King moves, queen. I get my piece back with interest. Now, if say bishop takes a7, well, I can play queen g5 and actually win the queen here. I'm thinking of the knight h3 check, which doesn't exist. No, in bullet games, I've won the queen with knight h3, winning the queen. Queen is a loose piece here for a moment. Okay, but anyway, I can get to that position by playing queen g5. g3, I can take on f1, threatening knight h3 check. So I think it's still worth playing queen g5 here. Sorry, I mean, it's... Yeah. No, yeah, queen g5 threatens mate. So g3, bishop takes f1, threatens knight h3, winning the queen. Okay, so queen g5. I don't see a refutation immediately of queen g5 anyway. So the queen's a loose piece. It's a key element, I think. When he's done bishop takes, he's left an Achilles heel of this move. There's a loose piece, queen in particular. So I'm not after necessarily a mating thing. I'm just after winning the exchange, actually. Actually, that leads to c4 as well. So bishop takes f1. If king takes, then I can take here. If the bishop comes back, well, in this case, there's bishop g2 for knight h3. No, that actually threatens mate. Bishop g2 threatens actually mate, because the king's got no escape squares. So I'm not only threatening to win the queen, I'm threatening knight h3 mate. So bishop e3 is literally checkmate after knight h3 is checkmate. And same thing with bishop f2, knight h3 is checkmate. Knight g4, knight h3 wins the queen, king takes, queen takes. Overall it looks pretty promising. Let's see, if white tries to protect his queen with rook d1, what happens? Well, again, knight h3. Here, knight h3. Oh, that's a very interesting one, because the king can come over there. What about queen h4 here? And there's king e3. Aha. I wonder if I can delay things and just take this. That's a very unexpected move. I mean, it does mean the queen's not lost. Can I just take this bishop for a moment? Because maybe I can play the check and win the knight, if nothing else. If rook g1, I think I play the check and then just win the knight. There's a real change of scenario from the earlier analysis. But, yeah, the king's coming to the rescue to protect the queen. Am I trying to get this? Takes knight to h3, king e2. What about just h5 for a moment? Am I being super dumb? I probably am. I'm just wondering, queen h4, he's got king e3, hasn't he? Right here, there's knight. I don't believe this should work for him instinctively. I know knight takes, he takes my queen. Knight h3. Where does he go? King e2. I've got e takes. If he takes, then I take the queen.
Check.
If he goes to e1. Right. Okay, I think I'll take the queen off.
Check.
Take her. Because I think my f pawn is good, at the very least. Am I actually a piece down? I'm a piece down now for a load of pawns. That was an interesting turn up for the books. Ah, I was so optimistic there. How does that happen? That always happens. Hang on, no, hang on. I'm not a piece down. I'm the exchange. No, I'm not the exchange up. I'm not a piece down anyway. The good news, apparently, I'm not a piece down. Okay, I'm actually okay here. Okay, I'm still okay. Okay. Rook h2. Rook h2.
Check.
And get the other rook in the game. This looks okay. Put the pawns on dark squares away from the bishop.
Check.
Do I need to protect my c7 pawn? Just in case. a2's there. As long as I don't relinquish the h file in a hurry. Actually, I'm not actually threatening anything here. Okay, get that square without bishop h3 at the moment. Right. What am I threatening? Nothing. Can I mate him over here? His king seems to have gone into my territory. Unwelcome visitor. Can I mate him with a knight as punishment? Where do I want my knight? d6. This is a very adventurous king, to say the least. Okay, the king. That's rook g5.
Time.
Okay. Can I go for d5 or rook e4?
Check. Check.
Okay. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to leave it on high tonight. I've gone through the entire session without losing for the first time ever, and also without any auto pairing. I think the two are not coincidental. But yeah, thanks for all the challenges and all the fun. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to say hi to my co-producer. It's 11 o'clock here now. I think we might have started a few minutes early as well. So this might be a good time to leave on a high for the first time ever. Okay, have a good weekend, and see you next week at the earlier time of 8 PM UK time. Okay, 8 PM UK time. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks very much. Cheers then. Oh yeah, likes appreciated on helps marketing and everything. That would really be helpful. If you want to give a like on YouTube, that would be really great as well. Thanks very much.